Today is Tuesday, the 9th of May, and this is from the South.
Chavistas, maintaining a firm presence in the streets of Caracas. It's a stance against US interference and imperialism, and a stance against opposition defiance against the President's National Constituent Assembly.
Para decirle a Nicolás que aquí estamos rodilla en tierra y que estaremos siempre en el momento que sea necesario y que aquí hay un pueblo refiado.
Supporters of the Maduro-led government number in the millions. Many hit the streets to send a message of peace during a time of intense opposition-led street protests, many of which have contributed to close to 40 deaths since early April. Pro-government demonstrations like this are gaining momentum. With the Constituent Assembly in development, Chavistas believe that social programs offered by the government will be etched permanently within the Constitution, ensuring their well-being for generations to come. Their numbers in the streets also send a clear message to anti-government rioters that violence will not be tolerated. The aggressions of opposition protesters are a serious concern.
De verdad sí estamos preocupados porque Venezuela siempre ha sido ejemplo en el mundo, garante de la paz, porque son lamentablemente ciudadanos venezolanos que han sido inducidos por personas extranjeras que van más allá de lo que es el ser humano, ¿verdad? Acabando con la vida de nuestros propios hermanos venezolanos.
Yet the smiles and the dancing remain in Venezuela as Chavistas prepare for a fight ahead. A fight for peace, a fight to choose, a fight to survive. Regan Devines for teleSUR English in Caracas, Venezuela.
Opposition protesters mobilized on the streets of Caracas on Monday against President Maduro's efforts to reform the constitution. Opposition leaders have refused to join talks with the government. Instead, the opposition is demanding elections and says Maduro is an autocrat. Student groups came together under the banner End Debt as part of a demand to call for debt forgiveness for students who owe money to the credit system used in Chile. Demonstrators clashed with police in Santiago during the March for Better Education Reform. Several demonstrators were detained by police, and local media reported high school students were among those arrested. At least 14 people were killed, including 11 children, in an explosion at a house where fireworks were stored in central Mexico's Puebla state. Scores more were injured, according to authorities. The house located next to a church was tattered and in ruins from the explosion. The blast occurred on Monday night in the town during preparations for a local festival next week. Former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is scheduled to testify on Wednesday in the first of 5 corruption trials he is facing. The cases are surrounding the massive political kickback scheme that centered on contracts at state-run oil firm Petrobras. Protesters marched on Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. with a giant alarm clock, urging President Donald Trump to wake up to climate change. The demonstration was launched as mixed messages continue to come from Trump's administration regarding withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. The UK's Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn launched his party's election campaign early this Tuesday. Corbyn criticised the Conservatives for being part of a system which he says is skewed toward the wealthy. Corbyn is a socialist who has pledged higher taxes on the wealthy and a crackdown on powerful corporations.
About 1,500 Palestinian prisoners on hunger strike in Israeli jails are continuing their battle for freedom for the 22nd successive day. According to Palestinian sources, the strikers are withstanding strict Israeli measures, including solitary confinement and a ban of visitation. On Sunday, the Israel Prison Service (IPS) released footage reporting strike leader Marwan al-Barghouthi in the bathroom of his cell, secretly eating a candy bar. IPS claimed that the footage was filmed during the hunger strike, which began on April 17. The Palestinian Committee for Prisoners Affairs, PCPA, said that the footage, which did not bear any timestamps and did not clearly show the face of the prisoner, was fabricated and aimed to break the resolve of prisoners. Baroudi's wife Fadwa said at a press conference Sunday that the practice reflects Israel's moral decline.
The Palestinian prisoners launched the dignity strike to press for more favourable prison conditions, which is legal according to international law. Since the first day of the strike, the Israeli government rejected to deal with the strike. Even it has tried to spread rumours claiming that the hunger strikers are killers with Jewish blood on their hands.
More on these and other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English.